The Pattaya City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
What is the meaning of life? This was me at the age of 26. I'd had a business collapsed. I should have never started the business off in Australia. Had no chance of success. Needed to be started off in America or England perhaps. And it threw me into a depression. And I started to ask hard questions. Does life have any meaning? Would it really matter if I died tomorrow? What is the meaning of life? So my journey to answer this question, this became the great journey of my life, to answer this question. And at the time, I already had a PhD in philosophy, and, sorry, we've got a little bit of just waiting on this conversation. John, do you want to take it? You can go outside and have a conversation outside. You're only going to miss out on the meaning of life. Don't worry about it. So this became the great journey of my life, to understand what is the meaning of life. And now, right now, I'm on the point of releasing a series of books on the meaning of life on Amazon. The meaning of life, the most comprehensive examination of the question of the meaning of life ever. Big statement, and yet I'm sure it is actually true. The meaning of here we go. So this is what this short talk's going to concentrate on, this question of what is the meaning of life. Because, there's been various past answers to it. Do they hold water? We're going to just have a look at some of those. But I discovered you couldn't answer the question of the meaning of life without also looking at psychology and spirituality. It just wasn't an intellectual, philosophical question. So this is a book, The Loop, The Psychology of Normality. How do we, if life is meaningless, for instance, how do we go around functioning at all? Right? How do we create a semblance of meaningfulness in our lives? Then this. There has to be more to life than this. The confrontation with meaninglessness. Has anybody else besides me ever had that thought in their life? There has to be more to life than chop wood, carry wood. Okay? This is the thought. 3 years after that depression, my life had seemingly turned around. I had a TV series under option. I was travelling around Australia doing the National Manual on Local Government of the Arts in Australia. I was building my first home. Life seemed pretty shiny again. But this one thought would not let go of me. There has to be more to life than this. The confrontation with meaninglessness. To some people, this will be one of the most important books they ever read in their lives. Because it's like, if you hit the wall, depression is like skyrocketing around the world. If you hit the wall, what opportunities can that lead to? And this is my final answer, the journey of the souls and the meaning of life. One of the meanings of life is to get the clicker to work. John, I'm not getting anything, mate. Next slide, please, John. Is it seized up or something? All right. Soldier on. So there's two other books in the set. I put the two books on Jesus. Who was here when I talked on the Jesus Code a while ago, many months ago? So, okay, back. So, God, Sex and Tomato Sauce. That's, I figure that all this, meditation on the meaning of life has to lead to a few jokes and wry observations. So that's that. Then these two books on Jesus, the Jesus Code, Unlocking the Secret Meaning of His Teachings, and the Crucifixion Code, after 2,000 years, the truth about why Jesus was crucified, and the truth about why it became the most impactful event in human history, which it undoubtedly did. But today we're going to look at this general question on various ideas of the meaning of life. And now here is a very popular, very old belief about the meaning of life. Life is about preparation for the hereafter. It's about preparing you for what's next. It's about qualifying to get into heaven or Valhalla or, Elysium if the Greeks or whatever it is, right? So it's about preparation for the hereafter. Now, does that idea hold water? Why is the hereafter so much more meaningful than stuff that happens in life, right? Is it because it goes on forever? Well, if I go to some prisoner in some hellhole prison getting tortured every day and say, I am the angel of the Lord and I grant you eternal life. If I was a prisoner, I'd say, please don't do that, right? Let me die, okay? So eternal, being around forever is not going to guarantee meaningfulness. But then there's this other idea, you'll be happy. You'll be happy all the time. You'll be in the presence of God, right? So happiness. But then there's moments of happiness on earth, of course. So I have this vision that millennials are going to get to heaven and they're going to be going around and the baby boomers say, isn't this great? We're basking in all this wonderful energy from God, and the millennials will be going, where's my phone? I have no internet connection. I'm in hell. You sure this isn't hell? So, this idea that life is preparation for the hereafter does not in itself provide a meaning of life. Buddhism and the meaning of life. Now, this is actually very interesting. Because they don't, there's various branches of Buddhism, but Buddhism basically doesn't see life as preparation for the hereafter. They see that the purpose is to escape from life, right? The wheel of samsara. Born, age, suffer, die. Born, age, suffer, die. Born, age, suffer, die. Now, the idea is to get off that wheel, escape. But only the meaningful life is the one that gets you away from the meaninglessness of life, right? You become the monk and escape. And as I understand mainstream Buddhism, it has no reason why souls originally incarnated. I mean, what idiot soul started incarnating into this human misery, and why did it all happen? There's not really an answer to that. So it really, in a sense, makes the whole human journey, all those incarnations, meaningless in a way. All right, let's look at some other different ideas. My life has meaning because I'm successful. You want a meaningful life? You be successful like me. You become a billionaire. You become president. Obviously, my life's more meaningful than you because I'm more successful, right? Well, let's read something together. I began experiencing moments of bewilderment. My life would come to a standstill, as if I did not know how to live or what to do, and I felt lost and fell into despair. This person had a confrontation with meaninglessness. Or, thinking about the fame of my own writing brought me, I would say to myself, well, fine. So you will be more famous than Gogol, Pushkin, Shakespeare, Molière, more famous than all the writers in the world, and so what? And I had absolutely no answer. Anybody want to hazard who that's by? Tolstoy. Even the other great Russian writers of the day were in awe of Tolstoy. He had a confrontation with meaninglessness, and he turned towards spirituality and became a spiritual leader in Russia. When he died, a lot of the mourning was not for a writer, but for a spiritual leader. He actually invented passive resistance that Gandhi adopted. It was Tolstoy's idea. So success, and I know that often successful people have an epiphany that success does not make them happy, right? I heard this guy talk, and he finally closed a deal that made him millions of dollars, and he said, I felt so empty that I actually thought about giving the money back. So let's flip onto life as the pursuit of pleasure. Very old idea, hedonism. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die. Yeah, let's get into the joy thing. Come on, what film's this from? What film is this from? Come on. The Matrix, yes, thank you, okay? life in the matrix. Let's live an illusionary life, but, we can be happy. Take the blue pill. Take the red pill or the blue pill. Take the pill that puts you back into the matrix. So say you're into this idea and you believe that life is about the pursuit of pleasure, avoiding pain, okay? And you have a baby and you think, I've got lots of money. I don't care if she's successful. I don't care if she gives me grandkids. I just wanted to stop her experiencing pain. I wanted to only experience pleasure. So what do? You put her in the bubble, put a PICC line in a vein, feed her happy drugs for her whole life, till she dies however many months or years or decades later. Only pleasure. If life's about the pursuit of pleasure, well, you've given her the best of all possible lives. So we have to distinguish between meaning in life and the meaning of life, okay? Yes, pleasurable moments in life do add meaning, right? Better than experiencing pain and discomfort. Better to go on the Stem Enhance Ultra and have more comfort and energy in your body. But this is it. Does meaning in life can it become the meaning of life? So have a look at this. So can anybody read out this whole paragraph to me? Anyone? No? But yet there'll be some sentences in it you'll understand, right? I should think, although the English one hasn't come up. There's French and Italian. Now, each of those, and Korean, yes, and Chinese, thank you. And can you read the Korean one to us? Okay. Anyway, so each of those sentences is meaningful to someone on the planet. But what's the meaning of the paragraph of the whole thing? It has no meaning. Even if you could read the whole thing, it's just a jumble of different things. The paragraph as a whole has no meaning. Just because you have meaningful moments in your life, like, oh, I found this moment meaningful, I was successful, I, experienced love for a brief amount of time, I experienced pleasure, that doesn't add up to necessarily that the meaning of life is pleasurable. This is the pursuit of pleasure. Here's a very new age idea. Life has meaning because you meant it. Now this idea of somebody meaning life actually ties up with God and stuff like, oh, we exist because God meant us and created us, so there was a meaning behind human existence. So life has meaning because you meant it. Deepak Chopra. Whether you like it or not, everything that is happening at this moment is a result of the choices you made in the past. So if you hate this talk, you chose it. Unfortunately, a lot of us make choices unconsciously, and therefore we don't think they are choices, and yet they are. What a load of nonsense. This belief that was damaged so many people. Anyway, so this means like if you're a man or a woman being pack raped, well, you chose it. So, Another idea. My life has meaning because my genes will go on. Okay, I'm having children and grandchildren, my genes go on, my life has ongoing meaning. I call this the DNA vision of life, right? So, actually, if you really thought this, that it was all about your DNA going on forever, what you should do, scrape some DNA, put it in a flask, have the flask fired into outer space, and your genes will go on as long as the universe does. And if you really believe this, this guy is your hero. There's a gene that's very widespread throughout Asia, and they believe that it dates back to this guy, because he raped so many women that his gene became really widespread. So this guy would be your hero if you believe that it's all about your genes going on. And this idea, life is meaningless. You are born without purpose. You live without meaning. When you die, you are extinguished. Ingmar Bergman, the great filmmaker. Now this is an intellectually valid idea. Life is meaningless. Yes, there's things you find nice and things you find bad and they're sort of random or whatever. But in the end, life is meaningless. So here's the question. is there an intellectually coherent answer to the question of the meaning of life besides ultimately it's all meanings? And my answer is yes, there is. So this has been a brief look at some of the questions I raise in this particular book, this one of the 7 books on the meaning of life series, the books on psychology as well. And this is about the pursuit of meaning. The journey of the souls and the meaning of life is where I put the ultimate answer, my ultimate answer to the question of the meaning of human life. And the 2 books on the Jesus Code. Now, they're being released first, mainly because firstly I think they're more commercial, and secondly because I've already got talking book versions of them. And you really want to release both e-book versions, print-on-demand versions, and talking books. I prefer talking books. Now, let's just look at the Jesus Code. Why should I read the Jesus Code? Well, if you put thejesuscode.com in, it will take you to a page on my website, and there's various videos there that you can look at depending on what you're oriented. Christian, other religion, spiritual, not religious, agnostic, atheist, if you're part of the academic religion, you can look at one of those videos and it will tell you why, it's me talking, about why it's worth your while. There's an opportunity to join my newsletter, which will tell you when books are being released and how to get a book for the fraction of the price. So, if you go to Amazon and you type in the Jesus Code, my book will be one of the books that come up. And you can go here and you can actually buy the e-book version for a massive, wait for this, it's expensive, pre-release price of 99 US cents, right? Does anybody here think they've had 99 cents worth of value out of Ren in their time hanging around Patio, right? So if you don't, I'll give you the 99 cents to go and buy the book. It really super helps me if you buy the book and you leave a review. If you buy the book now, it will be released to you on the 14th of July. You can read it and hopefully leave a review. And it goes up once it's published. So 99 baht. There is a talking book version also, but that's not on Amazon yet. So go to my website, go to the website, renlexander.com/links, or as you can see, there's actually, I just created this because of these 2 talks. Here you can go on links. You can then find the links to the Jesus Code, to the Crucifixion Code, to follow Ren author page on Amazon, and information on STEM Enhance Ultra. So you can, all that's on there. And this has been my little look at the question of what is the meaning of life and the launching of the books on it. Please feel free to ask a question.